Ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't picked up on the fact already, I'm a huge fan of the musical Hamilton. But specifically, I'm more of a fan of the fact that creator Lin-Manuel Miranda was able to take information that we have become so saturated with and turn it into something new, make it the iconic musical that it is today. And we can see that this is actually cross-applied to the idea of the US Constitution. While I certainly don't think our founding fathers drew inspiration from, say, the modern-day rappers, I think they did draw inspiration from the Romans. And they understood that the novel idea of the United States had to have something unique to fit with it, thus creating the iconic document that we have today that can be amended, that is living and able to show that the people hold the power to protest and to contest the fact that if they ever find something to be unconstitutional, they can say so. But before we can really jump into the modern day implications of Amendment 16, let's take a step back and really try to understand how it came to be. So for a bit of a personal anecdote, I can recall my first exposure to taxes with my summer job. I worked on the custodial crew at my district level, and when I got my first paycheck, let me just say I was surprised when I saw a subtraction sign. Wait, the government takes money away from me? While I may have been a little bit naive, we have to understand that it's not exactly a universal experience, but we've all gone through the process of having the government collect taxes. And specifically, when understanding the history of it, we can see that taxation without representation played a pivotal role in dictating how the government was going to address this problem, because we didn't want a repeat of England. We wanted something new. So while Amendment 16 wasn't necessarily created with the Bill of Rights, it still held a pivotal role in understanding the consequences of what happened if we didn't fully address it. So now that we got that brief history lesson out of the way, where exactly can we apply some application to it? Let's look at the Supreme Court case of Hilton versus the United States, one of the very first ones dedicated to this amendment, where a carriage owner found that he didn't want the government taxing his carriages. He said that whether it was direct or indirect, it shouldn't play that role. But the government favored inside of the US, and we found that we were actually able to distinguish what these taxes meant, and that the government had the ability to do so in the first place. So while it might not have been in favor of him, it did dictate how we would go about setting precedents, and understanding that the amendments, or specifically this particular amendment, understood how we were supposed to dictate the ability to not just protest, but understand that taxes are going to be a part of our everyday lives, whether we like it or not. So let's cross-apply this once again back to that modern-day application. What does it exactly mean to us? We can understand that taxes aren't going away, as much as we don't like them. But in order to build back up America, and in order to continue to operate in a manner that is successful, Amendment 16 plays that role continuously in allowing for our system and our government to be set up in the manner that it is today. So, with a brief bit of a history lesson, a Supreme Court case, and a personal anecdote, I urge you all that, while yes, we might not like them, and while yes, we have to go through it on a yearly basis, Amendment 16 is going to stay. But should you ever find yourself in the situation where you find something to be unconstitutional, hold close to you that right that we are all given as American citizens. Thank you.